The Metro Toronto Zoo and our special day there to celebrate Oliver's birthday with the family. If you decide to go there, you better bring some good walking shoes because there's over 10 kilometers of walking trails throughout the whole place. They had this awesome Ferris wheel, but they have over 3,000 animals and over 300 species of animals. They always have special events like this one, Terra Lumina, which you can walk the zoo at night. But you can check their website for other events as well. Sometimes you can even stay overnight at the zoo. Feeding the animals, and remember, the zoo is open year-round. And one quick tip about the zoo is that if you go there when it's on a cooler day, the animals are usually more active. If you go there in the heat of the summer, they're usually all sleeping. But there's all these different types of exhibits, not just animals. Tundra Air wasn't open at the time, but it was an exhibit in which you go 50 kilometers over the zoo, which seemed like super fun. But they showed off this cool airplane there. Each unit had its most educational pieces. This was showing the polar bears and how much of the plastics in the oceans are affecting them. So you go there and you learn about the animals, the environment, and it's spread out over a long period. So it was a long day of walking. But of course, the most spectacular animals, one of them was, of course, the lions and tigers. Look how beautiful they are. And they are in a good space and having lots of fun. And they do educate you, so they do have hours in which they have the zookeepers talking about the animals and how old they are, where they're from, and what they're doing with them. So you get to learn a lot about this super majestic animal. Sometimes you think if the animals are stressed out living in such a small environment, but I think they take care of them as best as they can, as this zoo is a lot bigger than any others I've been to. But what's cool about the zoo too is they do have a live cam in which you can check out the caribou at any time. They have teepees where you can go into, but these guys were amazing. The polar bear. And they're not always this active, but today we were in luck. They were moving around a lot, walking around a lot, and playing a lot. Because we got on there in time for them to be fed, and that is when they are most active. We're getting ready for their food, and they're having a lot of fun doing it too. I think polar bears, they look the most cuddly, but they are the only animal, what we learned was they are the only animal that will actively hunt humans, because there's not that much in the Arctic to eat, so they go for anything they can, and they get super hungry, especially in the wintertime. But look how playful they are. You don't always get to see them super active like this, but today the weather was perfect. It wasn't too hot, so they were moving around a lot. And they were crushing these plastic bins and jumping in and out of the water, having a lot of fun. A lot of fun to watch. Next was the wolves. It's amazing how much they just look like a regular dog, and they seem pretty friendly. But when you look up close, you can tell how deadly they can be. But you could almost mistake them for your average dog in the park. They're pretty big though, but it was cool to see them up close. This was a whale exhibit just to show how big a whale actually is, and this is a huge animal. This was the Canada part. This almost just looks like you're in High Park, but it's a real representation of Canada and all the animals that were in here, so it was good to see. Some camels and exhibits that you can climb on to keep the kids active, take pictures. Here comes Eurasia. A lot of cool animals in here. The red panda, very popular in the Disney community. And of course, camels. We got to learn about camels that with one hump and with two humps and what the representation is. But boy, are they interesting looking animals. And it's amazing to know that you can actually ride them like horses. See the vultures up close. It's amazing how big they are. And the snow leopards, what a beautiful animal. Mountain goats, they had a pretty good habitat. They get fed really well as well. The wallabies, these guys were super cool. This one wasn't super active, but we did see a bunch of them jumping around. In a lot of the attached exhibits, there's an indoor portion, and the jellyfish are super nice. Get to see a lot here. You literally tour the world to see all the different animals, species, beautiful saltwater tanks. I love the seahorses. When you get up really up close to them, the detail of them and how they swim, it's very fascinating. I mean, they're just incredible. This one was pregnant, but when you look up closer to them, they actually look like horses. This is beautiful fish they have in their saltwater tanks. The tortoise, super nice. Blue crabs, blue lobsters, I mean. Komodo dragon, of course. They're super chill. All the different reptiles there. Look at this disguise. Can you tell if they're leaves or are they insects? Of course, we were there for Oliver's birthday, so there's some nice picnic tables. We brought a lot of our own food, and we were able to celebrate a portion of his birthday there. So the Toronto Zoo is such a great resource, but keep in mind, the Toronto Zoo is not actually in Toronto. It's on the borderline of Pickering. What's really nice about the zoo though is it has a lot of space, and you do a lot of walking. So the animals actually have a lot of space to stretch out, and it's a great zoo to go to. You can celebrate animals or